let you know, I hope you weren't planning on having a big happy wedding with a bunch of people. Because no one is going to come, not one single person. Like, who would actually want to go to your wedding? Go watch some fat, ugly woman stumble down the aisle in a poorly fitting white dress? No thanks. Everything about you is ugly. Your face is ugly, your body is ugly, even your name is ugly. Like Millie. Oof, yuck. It makes me want to puke just saying it. You were doomed to be ugly forever the second your idiot parents gave you that ugly name.
I see. Thank you for your input, Tina. I'll take it into consideration. Is there anything else you'd like to say to me? If not, then let's keep this short. If you don't want to come to my wedding, then don't come. I wasn't planning on even sending you an invitation, but you kept pestering me to invite you, so I sent one out just to get you to leave me alone. I still haven't received your RSVP, and since it's past the deadline, you won't have a seat anyway. Okay, so we're done here. I'll go ahead and take my leave here.
Oh, that stupid invitation! I didn't even look at that thing. I just threw it straight in the trash the moment it came in the mail. Honestly, I wish I could get the time back that I spent throwing it away. Such a waste of time. Man, why did I have to be cursed with having such an ugly girl for a high school classmate? My friends at other schools didn't have any classmates as ugly as you. I wonder if there's a support group for people like me. It would be nice to be able to share my experience with people who understand what I'm going through.
You were complaining about spending a few seconds throwing away my wedding invitation. But now you're spending whole minutes thinking to yourself out loud via text? I really don't get what's going on here. Yeah, we were high school classmates, but that doesn't mean you have to come to my wedding. It certainly doesn't mean I have to invite you. If you didn't want to come, then all you had to do was say, I don't want to come. Or you could have not asked for an invite in the first place. But anyway, like I said, I was never planning on you coming, so it's not really a big deal.
Excuse me? Where do you get off talking to me like that? I was not just your classmate, I was your only friend in our class. It's not like anyone else was willing to spend time with you.
I have no idea why you would think that you were my only friend.
I mean, I wasn't I? We went to elementary school together too. Ever since I first met you in kindergarten, I was like, oh my god, this girl is ugly. You stayed that way all the way through high school, and thanks to your horrendously bad looks, no one ever wanted to be your friend. And then when we got into high school, yikes, your life just went from bad to worse. All the other girls hit puberty, so we were all getting more feminine and beautiful. But you were just getting uglier and uglier. No one wanted to talk to you or even look at you. If not for me, you would have gone through all 4 years of high school never talking to anyone.
Yeah, let's talk about my high school experience, shall we? You know better than anyone the reason that I had so much trouble making friends in high school. It's because you were spreading all sorts of nasty rumors about me. Did you think I didn't know?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I legitimately thought you were my friend during elementary and middle school. But then I was about to tell the boy I had a crush on that I liked him, and I told you about it. Then you started spreading one rumor after another, saying stuff like I wet my pants, that my parents were in jail, and so on. And congratulations, Tina, you got the desired effect out of that. Ever since then, it became next to impossible for me to make any new friends.
Did I do that? I guess I forgot. But really, Millie, you can't blame me for that. If everyone believed all those rumors, that just means that they never liked you that much to begin with. And another thing, you had no business telling Colton that you liked him. Colton was an absolute dreamboat. He was the hottest boy in our class.
Yeah, I'm sure you think that. In any case, I now know for sure why you did it.
Huh? What do you mean?
It's because you had a crush on Colton. I was under the impression that we were on friendly enough terms that he would have been honest with me about that. But again, now I know that you never actually saw me as a friend. You always thought you were better than me. So why would you tell me about something as personal as what boy you had a crush on? A lot of time has passed since then, but I still remember vividly how painful things were for me.
I literally have no clue what you're talking about. Stop making stuff up about me. Anyway, congratulations on getting married. I guess miracles really do happen. Because it's nothing short of a miracle for an ugly girl like you to find a boy willing to marry them.
Tina, don't you think it's about time you stopped making fun of people for their appearance? We're not in high school anymore, or even in college. We're both 30. And another thing, stop pretending like you were my friend. You weren't. Just be honest, admit you hate me, and let's go our separate ways.
Oh no, you do not want to go our separate ways. Trust me. What would you do without me? Well, anyway, I hope you enjoy your wedding, even without any guests.
Right. Thanks, Tina. I hope you enjoy not coming to my wedding. Wow, Colton! You are never gonna believe the totally unexpected news I just got. Tina's not gonna come to our wedding.
Oh no! You're kidding. I can't believe it. You mean our class's official mean girl won't come to our wedding? Oh, say it ain't so.
Colton, I think I've had about enough of her. I think it's time to cut her off.
Let me guess. Did she do her whole typical you're ugly and fat routine?
How did you guess? I've been putting up with it until now. But I don't see any reason why I should keep putting up with it any longer.
We've seen the way you two have interacted since back when we were still in school. And I have to say, it honestly seems like she's dependent on you. Like, she's the one who couldn't go on without you.
I don't know. It doesn't really seem like an issue of dependency to me. It just feels like a good old-fashioned case of she hates my guts for no good reason. Well, do you think she's acting so much worse than usual because she found out we were getting married?
Nah, I don't think that has anything to do with it. I talked to her parents a while back, and apparently she's getting married herself.
Wow, really? She is?
Yeah, I was just as shocked as you when I heard about her wedding. And even more shocked when I heard about the date for her wedding. It seems like the company is in a bit of a hard spot right now. And we didn't really talk much, but... well, I was thinking the same way as you. It might be time to cut them off.
Wait, you too? What do you mean?
Aw, you poor thing. It must be so lonely over there looking out over a completely empty chapel while you stand alone at the altar.
What are you talking about, Tina?
I know this is gonna come as a huge surprise, but the truth is, today is my wedding too.
Oh, is that what this is about? Yeah, I already heard about that.
Aw, come on. Seriously? Who told you? I was trying to make it a surprise.
A surprise?
The best surprise ever. I planned my wedding for the same day as yours and got all of your guests to come to my wedding instead.
Huh?
Just think about it for a second. You'll understand. Imagine you're a normal person who got 2 wedding invites, one from me and one from you, both for the same day. Which one do you think they're gonna want to go to? They're obviously gonna pick me. You know, the beautiful one.
What are you going on about this time, Tina?
Isn't it ironic? There are 2 weddings happening on the very same day in the very same town. One for a fat and ugly woman destined for a life of misery. And one for an awesome, fun, cool, hot, sexy woman destined for happiness, fulfillment, wealth, and fame. Did I ever tell you about my husband, Travis? He's a CEO, you know. I would never settle for anything less. A girl with a high-class upbringing like me deserves only the cream of the crop.
Wait a second. Travis, as in Travis Sheltner? The CEO of the Sheltner Corporation?
The one and only. I'm not surprised you know about him. He's pretty famous. So you see, we're gonna be the happiest couple to have ever lived. So yeah, I hope you have all the fun that you can in your empty chapel.
Okay, and so you're saying that you invited all the same guests that we did?
I sure did, and they're all gonna come to my wedding instead of yours. You will have 0 guests today. Count them, 0. Isn't it a crazy coincidence that our weddings were both scheduled on the same day? Sorry about that. Oh, and I'm also sorry for stealing all your wedding guests. I just can't help being so beautiful and charming.
All of our guests are already here.
What?
I honestly have no idea what you're talking about, Tina. All of our guests have checked in already. And my wedding is about to start, so I can't talk anymore. But I hope your wedding is as nice as you imagined it would be.
Wait, that can't be right. There's no way they're all there. I invited all of our friends from middle school and high school. I know I didn't miss anyone. So there's no reason they would be over at your wedding. They should all be on their way here.
Huh. Well, if that's the case, then maybe you invited different people than we did after all. Anyway, I really gotta go now. Enjoy your wedding.
Okay, I want answers, and I want them now. What did you do, Millie? Why didn't anyone come to our wedding?
I don't really think I need to explain that to you.
Yeah? Yeah, you do! What's going on? It's obvious that everyone would choose to come to my wedding instead of yours. It's the rational choice. Like, how could your stupid wedding possibly be more fun than mine? I'm beautiful, charming, charismatic. I'm the total package.
And the fact that you talk that way about yourself is precisely why everyone gets turned off by you.
Excuse me? What do you mean by that?
I mean that I think everyone is sick and tired of your pompous attitude and fake kindness. We've all been tired of you since way back in high school. It's like, yeah, sure, you are pretty and you were born into a wealthy family, but the way you constantly talk up yourself and talk down everyone else, it's just too much to handle. I think you made a fatal mistake when you planned your wedding to be on the same date as mine. Because all the people that you invited to your wedding chose to come to mine instead. All you did was set yourself up for a sad and lonely wedding.
This is unbelievable! There was no way they would all go to your wedding. How could I have seen that coming? And you're getting married to Colton? That's just not possible!
Well, it is possible, apparently, since, you know, it's happening right now. Colton's the CEO of the biggest company in the area now, and all of our friends knew that. So I was sure from the start that all of our old friends would be coming to our wedding. And since your fiancé's debt problems have been making news lately, I don't know, I figured it was obvious that not many people would be comfortable going to your wedding.
Wait a second, what did you say? My fiancé's debt problems?
The Sheltner Corporation has been in dire financial straits for quite some time now. Everyone in the industry knows about that, but it's getting to the point that the general public, in particular people from our town, are talking about it too. And I know he was probably marrying you in hopes to get your parents' company to bail him out, but the unfortunate thing for him is that they're in the exact same position he is. So, I don't know, maybe they're planning on joining forces to help each other out of the death spiral they're in.
Wait, this is all a load of bullcrap! This has got to be some stupid story you're making up to try and scare me.
You sure did a good job of scaring us, that's for sure. All of a sudden, the doors to the chapel fly open. Then in you came, screaming all sorts of profanities at the top of your lungs, wearing a white dress of your own. And for the record, we have security camera footage of you breaking those vases in the foyer. You're going to be sent a bill for those soon.
How dare you expect me to pay for those after what you did to me? My wedding was ruined thanks to you.
I'm sorry, who ruined whose wedding now? Which one of us stormed into the other's wedding, breaking things and threatening guests? That was you, Tina. Though I should say, while we were shocked, it wasn't very surprising, given what we all know about you. Combine your already bad personality with the fact that your fiancé's business is going under, and it's totally understandable that you would be going berserk like you did. But blaming me for that? Sorry, I'm not gonna let that slide.
So let me get this straight. You mean Travis's business really is going bankrupt? And you're really getting married to Colton? I don't believe that for a second. I can't believe that. You were the single ugliest girl in our class by far in high school. No boys were interested in you, even the fat and ugly ones. So why the hell are you and Colton getting married right now? Like, how long have you been dating? When did this all start? You had no right to date him while hiding it from me.
Tell me, Tina, why should I have to report to you about my life? I had a crush on Colton since we were in high school. You knew that. But after you did your best to get in my way, I lost the nerve to tell him how I felt. So there I was, a heartbroken teenage girl, her hopes crushed by a mean-spirited bully. All I could do was hold back my feelings, keep my mouth shut, and pretend I never liked him in the first place.
How in the world did you go from that to freaking marrying him?
The truth is, me and Colton actually started dating before we graduated.
What? You're making that up.
Why would I make something like that up? Lord knows you would never believe that. If I was going to lie, it would have to be way more believable. Like I was saying, I bottled up my feelings, and thanks to you, most of our classmates started pretending I didn't exist. But not Colton. He was the only person who took an interest in me. Right before graduation, we were riding the same bus home together, and he came to my seat, sat down beside me, and whispered in my ear that he wanted to go out with me.
What? No way! Nuh-uh, not true, never! Colton, the hot, talented, smart, coolest boy in our class, asked you, the ugliest, fattest, lamest, dumbest girl in our class, out on a date? I didn't think Colton was into fat girls or ugly girls.
I hate to interrupt your string of uncreative insults, but shouldn't you be busy, getting married?
I wish! Thanks to you, my wedding got canceled! I kind of threw a fit when I realized that no one was coming to our wedding, and that really turned Travis off to me. And my mom and dad are even mad at me! And it's all your fault!
Exactly what part of all of that is my fault, pray tell? It sounds to me like the obvious consequences of your bad decisions. So you're gonna have to explain that to me.
Oh my god, I just got a text from Travis. He's telling me he wants to break up with me. You're behind this too, aren't you? Did you convince him to break off our engagement? How could you do this to me?
I didn't do anything, Tina. I'm really perplexed how you can go through all of today's events and still be blaming everyone but yourself for your problems. But, unlike you, I have a wedding that I've been busy attending to. I haven't had the time to talk your fiancé into divorcing you. Plus, about no one coming to your wedding, I really don't know what made you think that everyone was going to come. You never even sent out any wedding invitations, did you?
What are you talking about? I sent out invitations. I did it on Instagram. Like paper invitations? Yuck, those things are so 2000 and late. This is the digital millennium, girlfriend. So I posted a picture of an invitation to my timeline and tagged all my friends. That's just as good as sending an invitation in the mail.
Yeah, I remember you posting that. I believe you captioned it something like, "Hey there, losers. Who wants to come to the wedding for the hottest girl, Every single one of you, that's who. So show up at my wedding or else." What did you think people were going to do with that?
Well, if they weren't going to come, they would have messaged me saying so, right? But no one messaged me at all. So I figured that meant that everyone was going to come. That's what any rational person would assume.
Haven't you ever heard what they say about assuming? You sure proved the old adage correct. And look, I know that this doesn't have anything at all to do with me, but I would highly suggest that you go to Travis and have a real heart-to-heart conversation with him. In the meantime, however, you would be well served to give up trying to shove the blame onto me for what happened today. I guess happened isn't really the best word to describe it because it's more simply what you did. You chose to schedule your wedding on the same date as mine. You chose to invite people in the least effective way imaginable. You chose to storm over to my wedding and trash the place. All the shame that you're feeling right now, you heaped on yourself. I'm done with you, so please don't try to talk to me anymore.
Whoo boy, it's story time, Millie. It looks like things are only going from bad to worse for our special little wedding crasher.
Uh-oh, what's going on with Tina now?
Well, her parents were in a pretty precarious financial position as of late. I think now that they were the ones who were actually counting on Shelter Corporation to bail them out. But it seems that Shelter Corporation was in a much worse financial position than anyone else thought. Travis is going to be declaring bankruptcy any day now. And so, Tina's parents have made the incredibly difficult decision to give her the boot.
Whoa, you mean they're kicking her out of the house?
That's what it seems like, yeah. It was a pretty straightforward, rational decision, honestly. She was having a negative influence on our business relationship just by living in her parents' house.
Yeah, I remember that you and her parents were talking about some kind of business partnership. What's happening with that? Is it still gonna work out?
Well, it's looking to be less like a partnership and more like just a buyout. The company is still going to keep its name and most of its employees, but management is going to be handed over entirely to us. That means that Tina and her family aren't going to be able to live as large as they have been until now.
Wow, that's gonna be rough on Tina. They've spoiled her rotten for as long as I can remember. And now her only lifeline is cutting her off. Yikes.
Just remember, you don't need to feel bad for her, because it's 100% her fault. Every single decision she's made recently has brought her closer to this outcome. So don't worry about her well-being. She doesn't deserve that.
No, trust me, it's not that I was worried about her well-being or anything. I'm just thinking, I really, really hope that she doesn't do anything crazier than the wedding, you know?
Speaking of weddings, it seems like her fiancé had some problems of his own.
You're talking about his debts, right?
No, I'm talking about another problem entirely. He went and blew the lid on himself, though, so he and Tina are heading towards divorce. They're right in the middle of hashing that out right now, and it's a real mess. I think his parents might just make the very brave decision to abandon him to the wolves pretty soon. I mean, I'm sure that as his parents, it pains them to see him go through this, but still.
This is all just one avalanche of drama. Frankly, I'd prefer if I never had to hear anything about any of them ever again. Most of all, I really would prefer to not get dragged into it. I just want to wake up tomorrow morning and they'll all have just vanished into thin air. If only.
Everything that's happening to me right now is your fault, Millie. You're just jealous of me because you're fat and ugly, but I'm hot and sexy. Well, I hope you're happy with yourself. I'm losing everything because of your jealousy. My parents told me I'm on my own from now on, even though they knew I was relying on their support to get by. And my fiancé is breaking up with me just a few days after what was supposed to be our wedding day. This shouldn't be happening to me. I was born as the beautiful daughter of a wealthy family. I was supposed to have life on easy mode. How much more are you gonna take away from me, Millie? You're nothing but a bully, a fat, mean, jealous bully.
For the love of God, Tina, will you give it a rest already? Stop blaming me for all of your problems. Your parents and Colton had a really important business relationship. They couldn't keep going without his support. But you have done immense damage to their reputation with your self-destructive rampage, and you were showing no signs of stopping. They only did what they felt they had to as business owners. You can't fault them for that. Also, I understand that your mom finally talked to my mom about you and me. She actually thought we were friends, that we were inseparable buddies. But then my mom told her about what you did to me in high school, and she went pale as a ghost. So between the fact that you've been lying to her about us for years, your pompous, self-centered attitude, and the damage you did to their business, it doesn't surprise me at all that even your mom finally had enough of you. The fact that you have systematically alienated everyone around you is your own doing, Tina.
Don't act like you know anything about what I'm going through right now. You couldn't possibly imagine the pain of losing everything. I even found out that Travis was lying to me. Can you believe that? He always acted like he was the perfect man, a total gentleman who loved me to death. But that wasn't true. Nothing he told me was true. He had another girlfriend. He was cheating on me.
Yeah, I heard about that. You apparently weren't the only woman he was engaged to, and he decided that he's going to marry his other fiancée. It's a bit of a messy situation, but it looks like this is going to save the Sheltner Corporation. His new fiancée's dad is a pretty wealthy guy who's going to provide Travis with much-needed funding.
He was only ever interested in using me. His plan was to marry me so he could buy out my parents' company. Then he would use my parents' company's connection to Colton's company in order to save his own. He's such a creep. He was seeing her the entire time we were engaged. And now I find out he always liked her more anyway. He only proposed to me because he thought that I would be the better financial decision. He was planning to keep his affair going with her too. This sucks.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like you're not having a very fun time of things right now, but I don't know what you want me to do about it. Maybe you could look at the bright side? You got to spend several months engaged to a guy who at least acted like a perfect gentleman around you.
Look at the bright side? Are you insane? My fiancé was lying to me, using me to pay off his debt, and cheating on me the whole time. Exactly how am I supposed to look at the bright side of all that?
What do you want me to say, Tina? I honestly don't know why you're even talking to me about all of this in the first place. We're not friends. I want nothing more than to never have to speak to you again.
I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Why did everyone go to your wedding instead of mine? You never had any friends in high school. You were a massive loser.
I can answer that. Because of the rumors you spread about me, I worked twice as hard as everyone else in order to be accepted. I started exercising, I learned to play the piano, I did a whole bunch of stuff to improve myself and my self-image. The thing that paid off the most for me, though, was when I started fiddling around with graphic design. I worked hard to refine my skills, and I managed to work my way up in the industry, to the point that I'm now the owner of my own graphic design company. And one thing that was essential in that success was the support of my friends and family. As I expanded my company, I gained the trust and respect of people who had formerly given me the cold shoulder back in high school. Once we started talking, they realized their mistakes, and we're on pretty friendly terms now. You, however, went to a party school on the other side of the state. Then put your useless degree to work getting part-time jobs that never lasted a month. So I guess you wouldn't have heard about that.
No, I heard you were doing some kind of graphic design thing. But I thought it was just a fake story you spread around to boost your image.
You can think that if you want. But the people you thought were your friends got tired of your attitude and left you behind. Meanwhile, I've worked my hardest to build strong relationships with the people around me, and that hard work is paying dividends. If you're jealous of my success, maybe you should consider doing a little introspection. You've lost your fiancé, your parents, your friends, and your reputation. You're at rock bottom, so there's nowhere to go but up from here. Work hard and start to rebuild your life one step at a time.
I don't want any advice from you.
Okay, then I guess we have nothing to say to each other anymore, and you should stop texting me. You've been nasty to me ever since we were kids. You were so obsessed with tormenting me that you even tried to ruin my wedding by scheduling yours on the same date. But what came out of that? You not only ruined your own wedding, but you ruined your whole life, too. So that went well, huh? I'm going to leave you to deal with the consequences of your actions now. I hope you can do something about your hideously ugly personality. I never talked to Tina again after that. But that's not to say she didn't keep blowing up my phone with calls and texts. I just ignored them. On Colton's advice, I decided to simply turn off notifications from her rather than block her. So she's still screaming into the void, but I'm finally enjoying some peace and quiet. I got some updates about Tina from a friend of mine recently. She was going on an insane shopping spree before her wedding under the assumption that her husband would pay it all off for her. So now she's saddled with a massive load of credit card debt. It's crazy to think how the once great Tina lost her fiancé, her job, her money, and her family. Frankly, I don't have any pity for her at all. She tormented me in high school. She spread false rumors about me, mocked me for being fat and ugly, and kept me from telling my crush that I liked him. You reap what you sow, as they say, and the consequences of Tina's nastiness are finally coming to her. Maybe if she had taken the time to consider how her actions were perceived by others, things might have gone better for her. As for me, between my married life with Colton and my successful business, I'm living my best life every day. I've finally broken free from the chains of my past and am living completely in the present. It's all thanks to the friends and family who supported me along the way. Tina's influence on my life has vanished completely. For her sake, I hope she can change her ways and make a comeback of her own like I did after high school. But even if she does, I don't plan to ever speak to her again. From this moment on, I'm going to completely forget about the bully from my past and focus 100% on building a happy family for myself. My next order of business is to get to work on designing invitations for a baby shower. Whose baby is it? Mine and Colton's, of course. Our baby girl is going to be born next month.